Okay. I know this is like pretty loud actually, so let's see. And then this one. Hello, hello. Can I be heard? How well can I be heard? It's the real question. Oh, that's pretty good. Cool, 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 cool. Amazing. All right, boys. We're back again. Have I been gone for a while? Have I been doing my weeklies? Have I been doing anything? No. Oh well, I've been going to work. I've been playing the game. Mm-mm. But I gotta lock in 'cause I got a bunch of resources. Um, I need to get. Wait, hold on. 26. I actually do know when this ends. Wait, hold on. Oh, sure. This literally ends in 3 missions. Hilarious. Didn't even realize. Okay, cool, 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 cool. Um. Oh, I went to check this. Yeah, we have a lot of stuff to get. But first, I gotta get you, and then, you know. Anyway, let's get into the story. Then we can do chatting. I, am I basically? Oh, hold on, new enemy. Stop the presses. I'm all in.
준비한 대로만 하면
Okay. Let's begin. Hardly a challenge. What a waste of time. Phew. Well, at least they're not much of a fighter one on one. Service the clues is our combat specialist department. While they have an under while they have gone wow. While they have all undergone basic combat training for exigent circumstances, they are not prepared for head-on conflicts such as this. Yeah, I noticed. They kept taking pictures of us with their briefcases. Wait, hold on. Actually, can I hold? Oh well, okay. It doesn't work the way I think it does. Let's just. Sorry, I was clearing my throat. I didn't want to cough in you guys' ears. I know that shit would be mad loud for no reason. Anyway, back to it. They kept taking pictures of us with their briefcases. I'm guessing that's their primary job prescription. What are they snapping away for then? Whispering behind our backs like a load of creeps. Collecting photos to include in the report of their higher for their higher ups, I'd wager. Hmm. I can kind of see how they could think we're involved in this somehow. Every time they followed a lead, they ended up encountering us. It's hardly a surprising rationale. It does make sense. Marceau stood a footstep away from the rest of the sentence and watched in silence as they tried to come up with an explanation. What is he thinking? What is it that he wishes to say? Or is he simply contemplating, observing without any preconceived notions in his mind? Oh, hey. Welcome, welcome. We're just finishing this up. I guess I'm on the last three. I'm assuming. I'm not sure if there's a dun. I'm assuming there's no dungeon at the end of this. It'd be strange if there was. We haven't done dungeons in a while, so his silence shouldn't have been any different from his usual reticence. Reticence. We love Project Moon and teaching me new words. But as though by some chance or whim, hey Marcel, I was struck by the sense of brief yet distinct strangeness and was compelled to speak with him. Yes, manager. Don't hesitate to let me know if there's something you want to say, but aren't sure if you're supposed to say it. Yes, manager. I do as you ordered should one such a circumstance occur. As always, his reply was deflatingly concise and direct, as though he had some rule in as though he had some rule of his own that told him this was the specific response for situations like these. Oh, you actually seen one of the videos? Huh. Yeah. Hmm. Yeah, it was. It most likely was that video. I think that was one that did really well. I did a bunch of videos recently. I kind of took a small break. I just started working. So a guy's been overly busy. But yeah, no. Thanks for watching the videos and then coming over to the stream. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. Okay. Well, I'm talking about right now, actually. Do you have anything to say right now? No, I do not. Real. It did not appear to me that he was trying to hide anything or choosing his words in response to my question. The reply was simply that an answer, nothing more. Yes, a prepared answer written down in a list of responses. That's what it felt like to me, as though this particular answer had always been the only one he had available for situations like this. Clearly, prodding him for answers wasn't going to get me anywhere, so, with a curt, sure if you say so, I turned away from him and took off to join the other sinners. As I did so, a few words lingered at the tip of my proverbial tongue, asking to be let out. So I did. Would have been nice to know what you were looking at of that. Why he's making this weird pensive face. Thank you, thank you. See, literally that's all I'm trying to do. I was just like, you know what? I be having thoughts. I be having ideas. Um, well, really, I go on the Reddit. I see people discuss things. I see YouTube videos. I'm like, you know what? Actually, I have my own opinion about the matter. And I remember, wait, I can make videos and stuff, and so I make a video. That's basically all I do. So, you know, whatever the community demands or I feel it needs, I provide. He spoke. I cannot form a judgment. What? That is because the precise definition and nature of the subject of my gaze are just as unknown to me as to you. Should you point to an object or an enemy, I could provide a verbal explanation based on my current knowledge. If you require such information, please rephrase your question accordingly. Had I asked him again then, had I tried to get to the bottom of that line of questioning, could I have found myself the smallest peek into Marcel's psyche, which had remained entirely shrouded in mystery even after an entire year of traveling together? I suppose that's not up for me to judge as well. Manager. Yeah? Another battle is imminent. As you have previously instructed, I have informed you of an imminent battle. Yo, boss clock. Are you just gonna sit there all day while we doing all the fighting? They're pouring out of the building over there. So they must have been on their way to that building. Our path ahead seems clear, Executive Manager. Let's neutralize those foes and head up there. Gotcha, be right there. Brief lull of battle came to a close, and battling enemies who arrived precisely at the time Rousseau had predicted, we made our way into the building. Oh shoot, we're still reading. Okay. My bad. I thought we were done. Bloody hell. Them blokes we fought downstairs must have been the weaker ones of the bunch. How does N-Corp have so many guys on their payroll? There's no end to them. This is a corp. It's a whole corp. Yeah, it is a wing after all. Yeah, exactly. Are these the taboo violators? I thought the culprit worked alone. No, I'm quite certain they're the ones from the subsequent reports. The N-Corp fixers appeared just as confused as we were. It was clear to me that they were expecting to find the taboo violator here, not a big group of a dozen or so people. What were they thinking? Sending fodder like us to deal with an organized taboo violation? They should have sent taboo hunters here instead. Why do you think they told us to consume canned experience containing mass melee combat? They must have thought our current manpower would suffice to deal with this. I don't know about that. It is not enough. Unfortunately, you guys are not going to make it out of this one. Wait, wasn't there an extra report that one of them's all of a sudden, with a click, the room began to buzz with the metallic whir of some kind of machinery. And immediately, I could tell what it was. Distortion. Oh, standing in the middle of the shabby room was the device I wasn't sure if I had seen before. Its exterior was plastered with strange shapes that looked similar to what we saw on the Chacon's faces in our earlier battles, making it difficult to grasp its full shape. I'm guessing that's this right here. The round object affixed to it began to rotate slowly, with the dull, worn-out groan of a thing past its prime. Ben, shield your eyes! Oh, because it's a video. That's actually disgusting behavior. The moment it began to emit a faint ray of light, Otis thundered in a commanding voice. Ah! I quickly turned away as well, making sure not to catch even a glimpse of it. The device should be playing a recorded video, Executive Manager. Even a brief look at it could constitute a taboo violation. Yeah, gonna have to run. Ooh, I saw that. I'm so finished. Yeah, your pride. Just as panic began creeping into the voices of several unlucky individuals. Oh man, folks, this is starting to get a little embarrassing. Wait, what? A sleepy voice breaks through the darkness past my, metaphorically speaking, shut eyes. Mentor. Eyes open. Whoa! Oh, wait, no, this must be. Is this the video? Eyes open, Ongdu. What's wrong with everyone? Got dust in your eyes? The hell's wrong with you? Don't you know that anyone who watches even a split second of a recorded video in Ncorp gets? Of course I know, but I watched it anyway. Whoa! What is he saying? Open your eyes, esteemed fellows. This motion picture isn't recorded. Hang on, he's right. The video is not a recording. Possibly emboldened by Kim's comment, or perhaps in believing that seeing the video could be excused as incidental exposure incurred while subduing violators, the Ncorp employees also opened their eyes and began to mutter amongst themselves. Is that thing talking to us? I finally allowed myself a good look at the machine, which was firing a conical beam of light against the side of the wall. And this was its message, delivered via white words on a black background. So, you've tracked me down this far. After what I went through to take refuge in here, they still ended up finding this place. All of you blindly consuming fake experience after fake experience, without even care about the real thing. Case number TC3224. You are under suspicion of a Category 3 violation. Reveal yourself now and forfeit your illegal recording. Should you comply, we will. What is foolery but witness buffoonery in the absence of fools? Hold on, is he being deep? Hold on. Is this the Kim that Ongdu's been swearing by? The hollowed vessel, bereft of all but lingering delusions, grants not even a rule of echo to the dogged excoriation. Excretion? Excoriation? Not a clue. Of tools. What's this? What's this fellow on about? If you mean to obstruct our official duties, we won't hesitate to use force. Without even so much as turning around, Bamboo-Hatted Kim raised his sword and parried away the Ncorp employee's nail-shaped weapon. I'm only speaking as my whim guides me, my dear fellows. No need to get so huffy. I only aim to say that this abomination has no consciousness. After what I went through to take refuge in here, they still ended up finding this place. All of you blindly consume. Oh, okay, I see. It's repeating the same sentences over and over. Now that does make me wonder, was I just far gone when I just as far gone as when I was distorted? Past all words and reason? I mean, if anyone has an answer to that question, it'd be you folks, right? Ken said nothing more. He turned a piercing look on us, all the while effortlessly swatting away the N-Corp employees' attacks. They're still fighting him? As though he was goading us into telling him the truth. Well, don't suppose there's any point in asking. I am no different from this abomination. Just as it wields that contraption, I must have wielded the only thing have I have ever really known, the blade, transforming into a mindless fiend consumed by a mere tool, cleaving through both friend and foe, unrestrained. Ah, maybe. I mean, it could be. I mean, they do kind of like talk about how distortions eventually turn into abnormalities if enough time passes. So I mean, I guess maybe it could end up like that, but nah, I kind of clued in that they're like, oh yeah, it's a video playing. Though I'm kind of curious what exactly the distortion is. I'm assuming it's a person, but then there's only a camera here, so like, are they the photos on the camera maybe, or is it gonna be like they're in quote unquote a video, or like I guess distortion reality? I don't know. I'm just kind of following along, guessing as we go, I guess. Hey, Junior, are you still on about that? I tried to avert my eyes, I truly did, but such disregard is easier said than done. How can I, when that distorted being has no qualms showing me the. Does he know how rude the unsolicited reflecting of the fathoms of one's heart is? That's got to be illegal or something. Illegal, I say. Turning a customer into a thug on a protection racket run, a mere ant before a car in motion into a swerving driver. Oh, that's fair. I usually play with sound off, unless we're doing story stuff. I always turn it on for story stuff because one, I really like the music. I should make a tier list about the music. Though that might be difficult because there's so many songs. There's so many songs, so many songs. But I'll do something like that eventually. But yeah, I really like the music. And I guess in this case there's no voice acting, but I usually like the voice acting as well. But conjuring followers before the eyes of their mentor simply unconscionable, rude as hell, as some might say. My poor heart almost burst out of my chest, courtesy of you. Marcel. And that split second, I think I saw Marcel's eyebrows twitch. A battle is imminent, manager. Just as natural response to sensing an imminent battle, perhaps? And we're in the other world. I could do that. I could do that. Cover all the Millie songs. Not a bad idea. Loki, I probably should put that on the list real quick. I don't know. I'll remember. It's in the chat. A blinding flash followed by explosive bang. My vision immediately went white and decided to take its damn time coming back. And when it did, the first thing that came into view was a particularly unsettling landscape of Escorp, followed by bamboo hatted Kim surrounded by a small army of Chikon. Mentor! Keep that up and you'll shout by a deaf shout be deaf Ongdu. Isn't it about time we both grew accustomed to such sights? Mentor, still do I wake from these dreams drenched in cold sweat, that they might bind and drag you away. Eh, isn't so bad, is it? It's just these folks so far. Unlike earlier when another flash. What? What was that? Everything went dark. I don't understand what's happening. But first things first, we have to neutralize everyone here and get our mission back on track. Adjusting for correction. I've been staying far and wandering all day for this exact reason, and So that was its mechanism. The words began to shift rapidly before I had a chance to ask Faust what she had meant. To the one who finds comfort selling in lies, I give you what you most deserve to your gaze. What most deserved your gaze? Ah. So it's being triggered by Kim. I mean, they kind of suggest it's triggered by Kim, but now they're really laid it on. It changed. Wait, did I skip anything? Oh, I skipped this. I'll be blind before today's over at this rate. It did? Unlike the earlier instance, one of the distortions is different from the others. Ah, okay, it's time, boss time. And so identified there was something different about the group of Chicons this time. They were accompanied by someone else. Oh, okay, the bow guy. So not the main guy just yet. A warrior in impressive armor wielding a sword that was just as tall. That armor and a great Hwando of as the Sao Circle. To be reunited in such a manner. The warrior drew a bow that hung from the waist guard and notched a arrow. I suppose this is how it would have gone down had you been the one to grab me. Military Commissioner Im Gyong Ipo. No, oh, how did you fare, friend? At the signal, arrows loosing, seized the accused. The warrior loosened the knocked arrow, which soared into the sky with a piercing whistle. And with that air-splitting sound as their cue, the Chicon began to swarm us. Huh? Hmm. Okay. I'm locked in. Is this the boss? Oh shoot, this is the boss. Okay. Swordplay of the Homeland. It's kind of... Now I can't really visit S-Corp. I feel like it's going to be vibey. But let's see, okay. Well, upon encountering the new memory transition, zero transition, memory transition, stack retreat, and transition to the next different location. So removing locations, interesting. Returning to the field based on current battle form, gain or lose someone when battleland. Bear hunt, gain. Tiger hunt, lose. Don't take as many stuff. Gain effects of fixed panic. Upon encountering first Brigandland, okay. Gain shield equal 10% for every stack. Combat start, gain defense level down for every stack. Deal extra slash damage. Lose stack when taking shield damage equal to 10% of the, okay. Encounter, gain this. I'm trying to, wait. On skill use at minimum maximum stacks. Oh, that's a bit concerning. Interesting. So we want to keep this low. Got it. Assume every 3 turns. Gain 5 next turn. When following conditions are met, use pattern that includes the Bow of Homeland Arrow Loose skill. When this unit loses all clashes for 2 turns in a row, now post attack. Gain for when at less than 5. Gain and fragile. There's a lot. I think I got the gist of it. Nah, that interesting guy. Alright, let's start knocking stuff down. Wait, it's on a post? Unclashable with assist units prioritizes. Oh, so he's attacking assist units. Okay. Still beatable though. Alright, we gotta build ourselves up quickly and easily. Should be doable though, more than doable, really. Uh, did you do it? Nope. All right, it's on you, boss. Well, unless I just put you on this duty, put you here. Yeah, that's how it works. Damn, I gotta take any of these? Alright, well, let's get a free hit then. Uh, we could get a cool ID, like an M Gyeong ID, but I feel like that's probably gonna happen on a rerun. Not because this guy's too strong, but just because they usually don't release IDs, multiple IDs of a intervallo after the intervallo is already passed. And I don't feel like this one's different enough to warrant a change of pace. And then also we're getting the Valentina and Lucio IDs next week. Or this coming week, however you want to put it. Actually, not next week, because today's Friday, actually. So, you know. But I mean, hey, we should get them definitely, I guess, whenever we do the rerun. Also, battle music? Pretty good, pretty good. Alright, you're kind of low. Keep working on you. Yeah, all looks good to me. Hey, don't blame Kim Jong-un too much, okay? There's a lot of stuff we literally had going on at the same time. It was just an unfortunate coincidence that we had like 1,000,001. Hopeless? Hopeless. Oh shoot. Whoa. What are these rolls? Jesus Christ. Okay, well, I'm not fighting that. Okay. Actually, better yet, you could take this. Maybe get some little damage off. Maybe same thing for you. Maybe it's worth it to lose. Well, actually, what happens if you lose? Well, this one might be dangerous to lose. And no one's clashing this? Eh. Or maybe I should put you on this duty, and then you on this. Is this being attacked? No. Okay, let's put you on this. Right, you might actually win this. And you can hit him. Yeah, I think that's good. But yeah, you know, don't. The scheduling is just very busy sometimes. Sometimes it's really boring. We're at a full Faust. Can you do your job and I don't know, win your clashes? I don't know. Spots in the air. Anyway, but yeah, sometimes we're in drought. Sometimes sometimes we're drowning. Sometimes we're in droughts. Right now, drowning period for sure. For sure, drowning period. We still got another Walpurgis night. We got this event going on for a while. Oh snap! He actually won. But yeah, lots to do, lots of resources to get, lots to spend our resources on, and I love it. So let's win those. Okay. Next Walpurgis night. Oh, it's actually low-key kind of. You know what? We'll do a small detour so I can answer that question. Kind of hard to say. Oh, yeah, don't be making noise here. So, Let me see. I know they do the back and forth. I forget what our last what was our last Walpurgis night? Oh no, last Walpurgis night was LobCorp, right? Right. Yeah, it was LobCorp. So next one is library. Um and who would it be based on? Usually it's based on like a certain floor. I don't think it's Gebra. Hmm. I really couldn't tell you who it would be on. Uh Actually, you know what? Let me go further back and actually see where our last. Wait, hold on. Let me make sure I didn't like mess everything up by accident. Okay, let's go further back. Last Walpurgis night. Okay, here we go. The last one was. Why one did I was kind of hoping to get a glimpse in. Hold on. Let's see. Let's see. Last Walpurgis night. Oh, it was the Night Owls. Okay. Actually, aren't we like Loki Star the City level now? So actually, Faust, you pissed me off. Get this going, please. Can you win this? Maybe not, actually. Ugh. Unfortunate. And you definitely can't win it. And you're unopposed. You're going to lose. Ay, ay, ay. The fight's getting ahead of me. Yeah, next one's definitely gonna be library wanna based. Will it focus on how would you say? Um will it focus on gaze or cane offices? Maybe? It depends on if they want to do like it really could be anything. Because at this point we now the whole game's our whole oyster essentially, because we're kinda pretty high in level. Kinda wanna get rid of this though. You know what? I might have to make a team with better cohesion. Actually, is it clashing this right now? One side defense. I kind of want you to hit this, I guess, and then I guess I want you to avenge yourself, I guess. And you, I guess, can take this. I don't know if this makes a lot of sense, but forget it. If you want to invite the Night Owls in Marina, you need to start a city book, so that's something. Yeah, that pretty much just guarantees that we're for sure at start of the city level. In terms of like what we have access to. Well, early start of city at that. The next one, I don't know. That'd be crazy. If they did that, I'd pretty much just safely assume they're just trying to take our money. They're just like, yeah, we need a little bit extra money for that for the anime. At that point, I just assume that's the case. No. Wow. Wow, that Otis won her clash, but Mr. Kim Salt lost his. Are you insane? That actually disgusted me heavily.
내가 담배를 다 태우기 전까지 일어나지 않으면 죽었다고
Oh.
생각하고
Oh, okay. So what's the passes on this thing? Oh, and so the projector is the distortion. Got it. Oh, a Zhao ID. Hey, everything in Star of the City, they can get the money. They can have my money. If they were so bold as to be like, hey guys, next one up, purple tier. So money has been spent. Money has been spent. I put aside some cash that then you knew I was spending the money. Photo lab cannot be killed. Does not take any damage from sources other than skilled attack damage. If the unit reaches 1 or if a transition reaches 0, stack, turn start, activate, remove self and corpse class to return. Okay. Alright, this time we could do some good stuff against them. I'll start knocking these guys down. Finally. I guess it was a good thing we ended up getting this far though. And then I guess I'll try to do some skill attack damage. These guys will die though. This turn. We'll do like that. Fast ever since I played. Yeah, pretty much. Once I bought the first time, I was kind of just like, yeah, I kind of just need this all the time. It's just so good, and you can get every idea you want if you want to use the crates. I don't really use the crates anymore, but that's just because I have so many resources. I can afford to just gamble, and then I have pretty decent luck, so I never really end up spending too much, too many resources trying to get stuff, through rolling. And usually, by the time I feel like I've gone too far, I'm like, all right, this is over with. I'm not doing that anymore. All right, start hitting this again. Don't worry about it. I be miss saying and misspelling stuff all the time. It's very natural, very natural, very human. Oh yeah, he's super dead. Oh, you know, I should try to use the ego again. Well, maybe next turn. Perfect. Okay. Build those resources, guys. Next turn, we go back. All right, I have a lot to do. All right, let's actually try to get through this, though. I think this is the last turn, too. I think. Oh yeah, we're for sure crush this. Creating factions-based teams. I only don't make a bunch of different teams, if only just because I'm like, I kind of just end up using amalgams of teams. So I usually just stick to having teams based on the statuses. But I have been kind of branching out because like there's the middle team. The middle team's like its own thing. So I have a middle team. And then I have a House of Spires team because using House of Spires Ryoshu is kind of its own thing. So I'm kind of branching out a little bit, but I'm probably going to stick to just having the base team and just kind of mixing them up, whatever, because this is a single player game. There's no reason for me to be dedicated to any one particular team, one way or the other. Actually, you know what? You take that. I think you could beat. Can you not beat this? Merso, bring me home with your first ego. Damn, it's all rolled kind of high. Like, strictly high at that. This beats, that wins, this is fine. You're the only one who's going to do a hit that's not gonna go through. For no reason. Can you do this? Nope. Could you? You? Nope. Maybe you do this. Someone could take this. Could you do this? Still meh. I'm not quite sure how to... Actually, maybe you could do it? Nope. Nobody's getting eye and coin power or nothing. You gotta go for it. You said you maybe could do it? That's good enough for me. Which really slightly infuriating me that Maso didn't get a C adapt or a wave branch. Because now I got a whole team of them except for him. Yeah, no, that's fair. Honestly, they kind of really Aw, man. Oh, well, there she goes. But yeah, they kind of really fumbled the ball with the hay shows and kind of being so limited with them. I guess probably this kind of comes in with the whole like Paradiso situation where this being like the first leg of our journey. We're most likely going to end up back with H Corp, and we're probably gonna get exposed to like these stronger branches later. It's just unfortunate that we have to wait till then, you know. But most likely that's the case. And then, I was actually saw a discussion about it and talking about how like those are not the highest level of strength in the city, and how like all the wings have access or like have essentially god tier weapon level creations in all their in all their basements essentially. Um, and so if you're like if we're looking at the wings, like that's probably where like the high end of IDs are gonna come from in large part because they have crazy stuff available. Gregor being a perfect example of him being like a really really strong combatant when unleashed. Obviously, he was holding himself back, but he was fighting two decently strong characters. Like probably, I think if I'm knowing the ranking, like Urban Plague level individually level sinners, and then a color, and he was going to solo us if he wasn't holding back. If he wasn't holding back, he would have jail washed the whole area, washed. So, you know, chances are when we look at like with the stuff with the ice shows, like we probably didn't even really get to even see like just how strong they could get at all, and they probably won't even let us. Is kind of the idea. Okay, beats those. Damn, why is his clash power so high? Am I doing it? These adventures at lower sword players, huh? Wait. Am I understanding how these work? Hold on. I'm trying to understand. Is this fight supposed to be really hard? I haven't even gotten to his health yet. When at less than 5 gain thingy, he's in home Tiger Hunt at more than 5. He's at 1. Okay, so then do I have to let him get more? Oh, I'm starting to understand now. Hold on. So in the other form, he needs more base power, but right now he has a lot of coin power, which can make him roll really high. So how do I help him get the stats? When following conditions are met, includes. Wait. I'm not understanding. So how am I supposed to make him gain when? Blah, blah, blah. Okay. Let me read his skills now. If the target's offensive, this effect does not activate. Wait, if target skill is assist defense, so on hit against target that has used exclusive lose 2. So I should clash this if the target skill is assist defense exclusive skill. Don't activate this defense. So don't hit this. I think. I think I understood how that works. I think I'm understanding this a little bit better now. Stop that. And then this, same thing. She's losing. It's fine if she loses that, I think. I think that makes sense. Only so Captain still putting in so much work inside. Oh, I did it. Well, she won, at least. It was the important part here. But, you know, Valencina was in fact quite strong. And would the library stomp out the sinners? Maybe. It's kind of hard to say. And the reason why I say that is not because the library is not too strong for the sinners. It's just because the sinners win based on attrition. Well, okay. The library would beat the sinners, but not because the sinners can't actually do any damage to the library per se. Just because the way the sinners fight and the way the library fights are kind of antithetical to each other in that the library basically has one reruns, but then they have reruns essentially. Versus the sinners kind of win by attrition. So essentially, there is no universe where the library creates scenarios where the patron librarians will always win, and the sinners will win through just whittling down the enemy, but they wouldn't be able to win down this enemy because the library doesn't allow you to just win that way, if that makes sense. Those might not have been. Were they capos? I don't think all of the group that Kala let in were capos. Hold on, did I just minimize this? My fault. Let's see. Hello. I don't think he did. I don't know if I could even. Oh yeah. Well, you gotta think about it like this. Soto Capo is the second highest rank in the library as a thumb member. So technically, that is like not correct, but like yeah, it would make sense for him to lead a bunch of capos because those are under him, like directly under, I believe. Yeah, they're all capos, and Soto Capo is above them because he's directly above the Capo de Capi. So that makes sense. Unless I'm misunderstanding what you're saying. So we want him to have high number because that means less coin power. And he's in coin form right now. So therefore, gain this. The Zucker's exclusive effect does not take effect. Wait, if the skill is exclusive, this effect does not take effect. Upon opposed and on hit as an opposed. Gain 2. So let this go. We shouldn't let this hit. We should stop this for sure. Well, actually, no, we shouldn't switch yet. You should not do that yet. All seems accurate to me.
물러서지 않겠습니다.
Yeah, underboss is, well, yeah, the underboss is directly under the boss, which would be the leader of the whole thumb, essentially. And then as for Li Hang being stronger than Valentina, it's unreasonable. Also, another thing considers that levels don't necessarily translate directly into being how strong you are per se. I'm sure there's plenty of characters who are technically stronger, but would lose in a fight to, conceptually, lose to a fight to somebody in lower level. Like Valentina's abilities, like with Odin's Eye and everything, probably would make her a very difficult opponent to beat for most people. That, for example, for most people that someone like Li Hang couldn't beat, if that makes sense. Also, I mean, it's a thumb. Hierarchy is really important, so it's not based on if he's literally stronger. It's just based on respect and various other things. I'm sure strength comes into play, but it's very likely not always affected by that, if that makes sense. Alright, I'm starting to understand how this fight works now. Am I annoyed it took that long? Yes, but we're here. But I think this is... Wow, she knew this isn't the main boss. Oh, I have another big fight to do. Am I going to cheese it? Well, cheese it by using strong IDs instead of using the blade lineage? We'll see. We'll see. Cause I'm struggling, and I'm just like, I could just use strong IDs and literally thrash this whole shebang. This is another thing as well. Now, given we don't know that anybody knows that he was a part of the Pinky, we actually literally have no idea how that works at all. Like, did they know? Is it a secret? Was it like supposed to be some kind of like low-key secret that he was, or was it like, not a big deal? Is it a big deal? Like, we're kind of I wouldn't even say assuming that's a big deal, but you could say that it might have been a big deal, or it could have been like a whole big nothing burger. Either or, and both could technically be right. But in general, if they did know, that probably did have something to do with why he wasn't oh, well, this is now dead. I didn't think she was gonna kill it all of a sudden. I would have. Okay. Thanks, undo. Ooh, yeah, no, that's gonna be tough. Well, I mean, that's only tough if, well, hopefully your ego gifts put you so far ahead of the enemy team that it doesn't even matter. Unopposed attack or on target hit. Okay, so unopposed attack. So let this hit somebody. This is fine to stop. Well, if we can stop it. Nope. Alright, it's time. The Blade Lineage. But yeah, I wish you the best of luck with that. That might get rough. Like this. Ugh. Who are you attacking? Faust? Faust can win that one. You can hit this guy, that guy, this guy. This needs to be accounted for. You take this. Wonderful. This needs to stay unbidden. Okay. See, the benefits of reading in a Project Moon game. Suddenly this fight makes way more sense. Oh, yep. Solved problem. Sanguine Desire, our beloved. The one who can win all clashes. Except for in like rare circumstances. But then at that point, if you can't win a clash with Sanguine Desire, with the bleed team especially, you weren't going to ever win. You were going to lose. Nice. Thank you, Yi-san. Almost do that shield, buddy. Almost do that shield. Well, this guy's dead. 1, 2. Good damage. Foolish of Project Moon indeed. Great job, Faust. Thank you for doing your job, like I asked. Break. Oh, thank you. Sinclair, good job. Otis, you suck. But I guess that was a given. It's still high? Here we go. Now we're gonna have some fun. Guy's stuff is high though. If this target's skill is assist defense exclusive. Well, I can't force you to attack anything. Alright, you can stop. Well, AIIV, you stop him? Yeah. You. I don't know what I wanted you to do. Well, I guess you kill. You're gonna not kill him, actually. You know what? But I don't want to waste the resources on that, actually. So you just dodge, I guess. I have to figure out where I want to place things. Could you do it? Yep. Okay, perfect. Kill this. This guy definitely dies this turn. This guy won't die this turn, but you could probably help with that. And then all things are accounted for. Alright, let's go. Nice work. Good kill. Oh. Check. Foolish to assume we read at all. Hey, I have to read, alright? These fights aren't getting won if I don't. Really? I mean, I suppose I'm a little bit different because I'm like low-key obsessed with the story in the games at this point. So I play the game, make videos about it, and then be like, all right, now time to read an unreasonable amount of information about everything that happened. Okay, on hit, unopposed, or on hit against target that use assist defense. So I need to stop this one. So I want to stop this one. Because that's not an unopposed attack, so I get extra damage on that. Then you can do this. You can't beat that. You can though. And then you can do good damage. And this guy should die this turn. Nah. I mean, I don't know. I feel like sometimes I don't read and then things go really poorly. Like with this fight, I was generally going to lose. And now I'm like, okay, now I'll probably be fine. Probably need a healing ego to make sure we don't die from bleed, but outside of that, I'll probably be fine. About to break this guy's shield and stuff. Oh no! Whoop his ass. I thought it would have done more damage, but I guess... Oh, is he gonna swing back? Okay, we're back. Just a little more. And I think we might be able to smash that dang thing to smithereens. But... yeah, but it's really hard to focus on one thing with the huge warrior zapping in and out of reality as soon as we make ourselves an opening. It'd make our lives a lot easier if we could get rid of just one of them. The battle seemed to be taking a toll on the sinners, more so than usual. It wasn't that we were up against an insurmountable foe, not even close. Not to mention how Ezra and Ongdu were here to help us out. But haven't they had enough? About time they gave up in it. Don't you go legging it again. That big sword carrying fella sure is kicking our butts. I don't know if they're the key to solving this distortion. We ain't exactly flush with options, are we? Our access blocked, and it ain't like we can stop mid-fight to strategize. With the battlefield constantly shifting and flashing in and out of worlds, flashing between N-Corp and S-Corp, we simply did not have the breathing room to focus on either projector or Im-gyong Ipo. I'm just gonna Im-gyong, because I don't know, that last part I have no idea what the sound should be. Who was swinging that great blade with frightening force. Besides, Ongdu, go cover his back too. That should be done. M-Corp was sending far too many people against us. There weren't that many at first, but it seemed that the sudden spike in employees casualties is in an area so close to the nest had alerted M-Corp to our location. How do we get out of this? Faust, Otis, help me out here. I decided to stop racking my brain trying to navigate a situation I know so little about, instead rely on the sinners with possibly more experience in the battlefield. Battlefield. I have no idea what Kim's doing. I'm guessing the idea is that we're fighting the main enemy without Kim's help for some reason, and Kim is fighting a bunch of like the littler enemies, like the N-Corp guys who are switching between being N-Corpers and the Chicons. First, I need to know if there's any way we can deal with the endless reinforcements N-Corp is sending after us. A second, will defeating the Gyeong Ip or just Im Gyeong or destroying the projector bring an end to this distortion phenomenon. If I may speak freely, Executive Manager, it is unlikely that our present force will be sufficient to overcome the current rate of enemy reinforcements. Not only is this battlefield situated in close proximity to the enemy stronghold, but there's an unpredictable variable in the strange machine that makes neutralizing even a single wave of enemies difficult. I regret to be the bearer of bad news, but we are trapped in a battlefield with but a single exit, which the enemy have already blocked. Without reinforcements of our own, there's little hope of prevailing through the current predicament. Yeah, seems that way to me too. But maybe if we neutralize the distortion phenomena at the very least, Faust recommends entering the Dungeon of Phantoms as our exit. Wait, for real? There's actually a dungeon? Dungeon of the Phantoms? Well, how can I enter if we can't even talk to the distortion? Wait, maybe. During the LCB regular checkup back at the LCE, he says that all you have to do to read what's on that note in front of his distortion, apparently it's some kind of code. Right, keywords. This one seems to be a location type of distortion, which means that regardless of where the bright flashes take us, N Corp or the twisted caricature of S Corp, we're still within its range. In other words, as long as I have the right keywords, I can summon an entrance to its Dungeon of Phantoms from anywhere within it. Oh, okay. So what are the keywords for this distortion then? Hohenheim had provided us necessary keywords for his distortion back then. But this time we had to figure it out on our own. First, first things first. One of them has to be photographed. It's obviously been present throughout the entire phenomenon. If I may perhaps experience be one of them, he's saying plus 2 cents in, having briefly retreated from battle to backlines. There's an undercurrent of obsession with experience sustaining his every trail. It must have aught in relation to what has caused his distortion. Experience. The concept alone lacks substance. It must be something more grounded, something that is at once synonymous with experience, while maintaining a through line at Ncorp's technology that was the core of his obsession. Can experience? Most likely, thinks Faust. Alright then, photograph, canned experience. Not seems to transpire as of yet. It didn't, but I could feel it. Are these the kind of photographs they use to make canned experience? So that's what the strange sensation was. Mentioning that word shook the distortion and caused a rippling effect. It was clearly not enough to force open the Dungeon of the Fathoms. How many other keywords could there be? Scraps. Sorry. Oh, I thought we were all taking turns sharing what might have caused him to distort. Going by the way you folks were saying your piece one after another, I thought this would be some sort of Zen riddle. Not a Zen riddle. No, but where did scraps come from? See, when enjoying the benefits of slacking off at work, all kinds of mundanities come to possess far more interesting qualities, sometimes even revealing secrets invisible to eyes focused elsewhere. Take our person of interest, to wit. He has been poking around this area of town with an eye-wateringly expensive camera in tow, so conspicuously that every store owner I'd lightly prodded for information had tales to tell about him. Each tale added another facet to the long saga of a once driven man, a man with a can-do attitude, an uncanny ability to pull himself up by his own bootstraps, and a clear path toward Nest residence, who became so bewitched by photography that he eventually squandered his fortune on what was, in the end, nothing more than a pastime. And that went on until he found himself reduced to a pauper, barely making rent on a scrap heap of an apartment. In pursuit of his ideality, ideality, the man had lost the grip of fortune and reality. I sought out his apartment and found a few scraps of his writing. When cold rain drips through the roof, when mold and tepid humidity together encroach from the earth, the mind begins to wander, lost. Eventually, madness is evoked in a form of indistinguishable from dark drunkenness. The pauper loses himself. A shadow darker than any I had seen on Kim's face crept beneath the shade of his eyes. No, I had seen that look once, in the past. Though, it would be more accurate to say that I had heard it in his voice that echoed in his fathoms, distorted by guilt and regret. Perhaps I shouldn't be surprised by the fact that this distortion has, among countless people here, taken a particular interest in Bamboo Hatted Kim. Photograph, hand experience, and scraps? Oh, that did it? Wow. Hey, we love a good bleed team, don't we? Like inserting a final piece of a puzzle, the space before us momentarily warped and flashed, opening a pathway to the dungeon's fathoms. Distortion's fathoms. Well then, we will be right back. We're right behind you, Executive Manager. Miss Ezra, this is what I had seen then, the gateway to one's fathoms. This is it, huh? Neat stuff. But before she could finish, Ezra had to redirect her focus from our discussion back to the battle. Most of the singers were caught in the same predicament. Some managed to disengage from the battle and prepared to enter the dungeons of fathoms. But Honglu, Gregor, and several others were still busy holding off the N-Corp employees. They're gonna follow us right in there if we run now, right? Probably. Even those who aren't chained to Dante like we are can travel through the pathway once it's open, so yeah, let's not drive ourselves into an even narrower corner. I'll keep them at bay. Hearing that, Bamboo Hadakim stepped up. My sword arm's not what it once was, but it should be enough for this. Besides, I have little wish to set foot in some ill-omened place and be tangled in such a bizarre mess. Is that really what he thinks? There was something in his eyes that led me to believe that this was about more than just staying behind to protect our rear. He was... WTF? What a terrible front. I at least tried to pretend to be sincere and make it easy for us to believe you. Did you think that terrible excuse was going to fly? What are you trying to avoid, sword swinger? You're not some kid trying to get out of doing his homework. I remember hearing that entering a dungeon of the fathoms will bring one to the spiritual fathoms the distortion is gazing into. That what lies within must be my very own, for that is what the abomination is gazing into. Be right back. Go brush my teeth real quick. Alright. I'll still be here most likely. Seems like I got a dungeon to complete. It's decided then. You're coming with us. We ain't about to walk in blind to a place we know shit about. I mean, got us in there, yeah? Oh, that's... He keeps it simple. You try that? Too. Learn the hard way that homework, like summer reading, doesn't go away just because you don't look at it. It's still there, even as the summer break comes to an end, ruining the last day of your vacation into an all-nighter. Arayashiki Skyber vibrated cheerfully in agreement. Stop procrastinating. Go do your summer reading. What was it you said? Base the homework? Save the GPM. Oh, Ryoshi, you're my favorite. Face the sins, save the ego. It is, after all, the attitude the company expects of its employees. Go, Junior. You guys too. LCB, I can handle them all on my own. We'll make a lone stand? Hey, who the heck do you think I am? I'll show you why Team Leader Moses felt safe sending me out alone with you guys. This was basically a monster of a week situation for the team leader and me back in our duo days. I can handle them on my own, no problem. No problemo. I wanted to see how you guys handled the inflection point, but I guess you can never really have it all. Well, I guess I'll just have to trust our two OSIR team newbies to handle that. Now that I think about it, I think I'm setting a pretty solid example as your team senior, aren't I? I don't like this, but it seems that I have no choice in the matter as long as this employee card hangs from my neck. Hangs from my chest. Put aside, Kim shook his head and joined us, dragging his feet all the way. I shall take the vanguard. Mentor, be warned that the entrance is floating. Take a tall step over, or you may trip. I can clearly see that Ongdu. Bring me a ladder if you're really that worried, why don't you? Have you need for one? A need of one? A mere jest, you didn't worry.
지금처럼 엄마와 함께 이곳저곳을 다니며 많은 기억을
Okay.
쌓아줘.
The Arayashiki,
언젠간
well, Arayashiki. The Araya,
세상에서 가장 멋진 곳에 나를 데려갈 수 있게.
voices are very apt this time.
승부수가 먹혀들었군.
And perfect timing for this.
정착지를 찾을 때까지 이 기세를 잃지
I really
않고.
wasn't expecting a dungeon this time. But here I thought we were about to be done. Wait, hold on. Let me see something. Okay, we can bring everybody. Okay, cool, cool, cool. Go here. Buy this guy. Need a strong ID. I don't think he works well with this. Does he? He probably doesn't actually. Oh wait, no, we're in the wrong place. Yeah, he probably doesn't work well with them. But that's fine. So many resources.
이리 나오시죠. 노비면 노비답게, 죄인이면 죄인답게. 이 오랏줄에 묶이시게.
Don't we love escort? I'm not reading this right now. Oh, but then again, since I don't have to bring a whole team anymore, maybe. The rest. There you go, guys. What team are we bringing? What team are we bringing? I'm thinking... It's gonna be a poise team. So I'm saying 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Wait, hold on. Let me see what your passive activates. Is it on 3 or 4? Uh. Yeah, it's fine. I'm thinking 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I mean, we have bleed going on too, and we no longer need you guys. So actually, bleed burn. Oh, rupture burn. Well, let's just bring poise IDs then. You have poise, right? Oh, not even close. You do. Hey, welcome back. Welcome back. We're team making right now. You're your only poise ID, right? Except for this. But you know what? I think I'm fine with this setup, actually. I think this team could work. Well, I mean, it definitely will work. I'm thinking 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yeah, that works. Yeah, this is a boys team. A mixed up one. I would use a blade lineage, but I'm like, I feel like they're gonna piss me off with. Well, these two are gonna piss me off with how low they clash. To where I could just bring stronger IDs.
길이 같으니 거들어주지.
Am I fraudulent? A little, but hey, look. Those RDs are too old. Too old. They're gonna hold me back. And that's how everyone's been living. Then my life, my photographs too. So this is S-Corp too, right? It is. Reminiscent of my homeland, but the sights are much too hideous compared to what rests in my memories. Hideous was apt. When we emerged from the entrance of the dungeon into S-Corp's streets, We greeted what greeted us was a distorted and eerie scenery I wouldn't be surprised to find in an S Corp themed haunted mansion. Rupture haste on a poise team? Hell yeah. Indeed. Also, hey, gentlemen, men. No, actually, no, I come. Gentlemen. Yeah, I don't know why I said gentlemen, men. Don't mind me. Hey, welcome. Too old to order off the kids menu, indeed. 'Tis a place hardly fit for human habitation, far more dilapidated than once expected. Though sayest that people inhabit these lands for truth? Really? I think it has a cool vibe. Oh, Yoshi, you're always my favorite. Vibes my foot. I don't think I'll be able to get a wink of sleep in here. The lives of the downtrodden were beset by 1,000 woes and tenfold more struggles, and the streets they inhabit reflect that reality. Many times I had contemplated in consternation how the folk here had even the will to live on. The shadow that had begun to haunt Kim's face still lingered there as he looked around. If the distortion reveals the fathoms of those it gazes into, as Kim had said, perhaps this is how S-Corp is reflected in Kim's eyes. On the days when the skies were spotless blue and without order from the counselor, I would scale the roof of the toga, thatch roofed house, and feel it rustle beneath my back as I lay upon it. I thought it would I thought it to be a respite solely mine, yet in this mirrored world another has walked here before my arrival. I joined him in looking up at the thatched roof of the choga. Beneath it, a wicked tunnel have I passed, and now I witness myself before the one who shall strike the head from my torso. There was a figure standing tall next to the building, staring defiantly up toward the man on the straw roof. Im Gyeong, are you home? Are you home? I asked. Oh, this was Bang behind Kim? Whoa! I was not expecting that. Oh, Chosington? Never heard of him. That wasn't a diss, by the way. I just actually haven't heard of them. What a strange visitor I have. Why not call at the front gate if you come seeking the master of the house? Be not like a dog barking up the wrong tree. It's unbecoming. A dog? Really now? I can see you up there, lounging on that roof. I'm not going to speak to the door like I'm blind. Has a spell of some sort befallen the day? To have such an odd occurrence inspire twice successive. The work of a bewitching spirit, I say. That's what's so bewitching about checking in on someone. Isn't it odd that a high and noble military commissioner of our esteemed corporation would come in person to simply check in on how a lowly mercenary fares? You know me. She certainly knows her jests. He marches forth, vested in war strider armor, yet expects no violence. She wields a two-handed great blade like a demonic Yangsha, yet harbors no hostile intent. Why? Who else might she be but military commissioner Gyeong Yu in the principal of the famed Im family? You're certainly in the habit of speaking in hyperbole. I'm not. I am not so noble that I deserve to be complimented with the epithet so grand as the principled. Not a compliment. You see, Commissioner, this is a rhetorical technique known as backhanded compliment, in which I damn you with praise, But for you are so bound by your precious principles that you would rather be unreasonable than betray them. Does an officer ranked second ordnance have not wit to engage in such banter? Oh, well, she's gonna kill you now. Why? Am I out of line, as they say? You two are friends, right? This was our first meeting, so no, not at the precise moment. I know. I'm just saying that if I were her, I would have I would never let myself become friends with you after such a bad first impression. Can't imagine becoming friends with someone who keeps pushing my buttons. Heh, maybe, but people do find friendship in such personalities if they have taste for prickliness. Like, Fate is fire. I colors on the. I mean, hey, the colors are a little out there, but it's not bad. It's just I'm just surprised because obviously we're used to seeing him as like kind of like a wanderer, and then we see him like in his work outfit, and so he's kind of just looks like a slacker. And then it turns out like he was actually a seemingly esteemed bodyguard and like some proper guard. I'm like, who the hell is that guy? You got a friend in us, don't you? Uh, fine, you have a point. I guess I do have a habit of pushing people's buttons too. But still, I hope you're not seriously comparing the way I talk to his sassy gotcha digging pun riddled. Well, the world we live in is vast and diverse one. Consider yourself lucky that you're surrounded by so many quirky characters. It's because of the same luck that she took the joke well rather than respond by trying to cut off my head. You are out of line. Yes. But I knew you would be, so I wouldn't take an issue with it. Though, I must admit, the rumors of your sharp tongue do no justice. The streets speak of a man they call Kim Lib, Bamboo Hat, Bamboo Rain Hat. Ah, so that's okay, I see. A man who once had intended to pursue the path of brush, only to realize the sins of his forefathers had exiled himself to the back streets. Yet, with the sheer power of will, gritted teeth, and scarred heart, did he find the path of sword another way into the nest, as a right state counselor's sworn guard at that. That's you, isn't it? All those superlatives, yet the reality is that I've merely found the path of man butchery as a viable way of life. Actually, you know what? Let me actually look at the fit. I might have been. I'm looking at the hat. I just don't like the hat, but you know, the rest of the fit is kind of valid. Direct any compliments you have toward the right state counselor, if you will. I am but a butchering blade that happened to fall into the right hands. Ah, ah, not a compliment, just a word on the street. Ha, you're a quick learner. And spare me the fancy reading of my name. Watching you pretend that promptness posturing comes naturally is painful enough already. Keep it simple, spelled as Bamboo Haddock Kim. Thank you. And does he continue to veer away from from the line? I'd rather be a corpse cold and dead than stay in the line. I have a shred of mercy on me, O mighty one. If I'd come all the way here just to punish you for every little misdeed or ill manners, I would have laid you out and split you into three ways before this riveting dialogue brought us this far. Hmm. So, feel safe to continue uh, traipsing outside the line, but in return, would you answer a few of my questions? I've been watching you from a distance for a while now, and really, stalking someone's not very principled of you. You sure she didn't give you a good wallop after that? No, truly a mystery, isn't it? Besides, she did give me a free rein to continue traipsing outside the line. Couldn't in good, couldn't in good conscience turn down such an offers of kindness. Not that I ever do. You sure have a way with words. A way of finding your way under the listener's skin, huh? Perhaps, yeah. are such japes not to be expected among fellowships of close mutual bond. They don't look like friends yet, though. So care to tell us why she's been watching you? I was engaged in an age-old pastime of throwing rock. You seek of the game, a Sukjun rock tossing. Save them for the festives of Dano. I was throwing rocks at the passers-by. Fee on deed. That is a wrong deed, good sir. I suppose it is. People of the Pipio and Sao, in particular, found it to be distasteful, and they did not let their discontent be hidden. That's the pie and the downtrodden peered me on to a degree. They found it cathartic. Oh, curious. Then is it a right deed or a deed not right? Papio, Sal, whatever is it that our thoughts describing, that art. It is a well-known truth that S Corp is also known by its old other name. Okay. It is a well-known truth that S Corp is also known by its other name, Sal Pipio Industries, a wing specializing in general agriculture and livestock industry of the city. The vastness and depth of its responsibilities have necessities such divisions of labor. Thus, District 19 is split into 3 court circles responsible for different aspects of industry, Sal, Pi, Pipio, each meaning flesh, blood, bone, respectively. Sal, responsible for the cultivation of rice and other grains, Pipio responsible for meat and livestock, and Pi in charge of technological aspects of both. As a scientist and a researcher who once toiled at S Corp, you must have felt the persecution the Pi faced firsthand. It is believed that the Trinity was designed for balance, that they would provide assistance when requested and keep one another in check when needed. It was once a promise of cultivating a fair and sustainable S Corp. Alas, the noble intentions of yesteryear now lie sullied. The Trinity now degraded to 3 quarreling bands of profiteers, blinded by avarice, relying not on honor but betrayal and perfidy to claim the top of the triangle. The adherent of the flesh claims the position of the chief state counselor and monopolizes the rice as the common folk starve. An adherent of bone, once right state counselor, toadies to Sal and rises the seat of the left state counselor. When such shameless conspiracy permits not the common folk to even till the land as they please, anguished cries of suffering flood the streets. Thus, the common folk are reduced to livestock bleeding out, hanging from a hook, while bone and flesh collude like that of emaciated dead. Who shall claim Who shall claim the severance of flesh and bone and force them both to yield? An oft-heard poem walking the streets of S Corp. Oh. Then the people whom thou have targeted with thy rocks they weren't people, rats. Rats? Oh yes, the counselor finds rats detestable. Much better to stop them from a distance if you want to crush them. By any chance, do these rats have a habit of sneaking into the royal court to better pilfer what the common folk rightfully deserve? They certainly suffer from a severe case of kleptomania. So you purposefully threw a rock at his feet to trip him to the ground, knowing that he was a kleptocrat? Well, I simply could not help but react as such in the presence of scurrying rats. Is there aught you find funny? Speak if you do. I could use a good laugh about now. Just hardly expressing my gratitude. That is all. Those whose corruption is revealed ought to be ought to readily receive their Scarlet O'Hara bonds. The gall to scamper away with their expensive prosthetics. My men were having some trouble apprehending them until now. Well, if that is your intent, you are invited to leave a token of gratitude somewhere in this vicinity. Perhaps I'll happen to pick it up when I want to be get thrown in the dungeons teeming with real vermin. Oh, I was going to do just that. So, when you'll stop being a sword and be a human again? What? When do you clock out? The way I see it, you're not the kind of person who will ever let a drop of liquor get to his tongue while on duty for the right state counselor. Return return to this Choga when you're a human again. I'll buy you a drink as thanks. Huh. Aw. This is cute. She's a funny one. Mentor. Then this fellow you had often mentioned fondly was correct. That when I mentioned her a few times as a drinking fellow I had left behind in the escort, I must say I myself found the relationship most intriguing. That a military commissioner of the Sao faction would fraternize with a bodyguard of the right state councilor who was the Pi faction. Still, I knew not that the fellow was none other than a military commissioner of Escorp. Ongdu's eyes had gone wide in shock, her voice rising unconsciously. It is new to me that you have had ties to a second ordinate official, a military officer with command over high-ranking employees of the wing at that. Well, I was in the service of a right state counselor who's the first ordinate, you know. Well, that might be true, yet you would like to know why I, with such a powerful friend by my side, have ended up in exile from Escort. Yes, your silence over matters of such great importance is why I have come to introduce you to others as a reticent one mentor. We had made the blade lineage our home for Escorp, availed no home for us but the lineage. But you, mentor, I'd rather show than tell. Let us proceed, shall we? This enchanted place seems to intent on unearthing all my past, both savory and unsavory. All shall be revealed in due time. Damn, that's a lot. Kim looked around, a twinge of loneliness in his eyes before moving on. We followed without a word. Damn, that's a lot. How long we gotta go? Damn, that's actually kind of long. Okay. Emerge? Okay, I'm not reading this. Okay, I do gotta read it. But a thin ray of light shone through the darkness, seemingly guiding a falling light led to a four-way path around. Constant, powerful gusts howled from one of the paths, another filled with metallic tang, smelled blood. Then, path was entirely silent. The last one echoed with a harsh noise of sword striking against sword. Okay, cool. Alright, team I was gonna use. Let's make stuff shake.
준비한 대로만 하면 그 하지만 그래봤자 거다.
Should be light, should be light.
전부 잡아드리죠.
Oh shoot, I forgot. Kim's actually here this time.
엄마는 무기라면 뭐든 잘 다뤘어. 그중 제일 뛰어난 게 검이었어.
No.
해풍. 히 긁어 신 어이여 짜증나는 시선이 늘었군. 앞으로 한 번만 더 기분 나쁜 눈빛으로 내 검을 힐끔힐끔 쳐다. 무타법을 이제야 좀 이해했군.
I'm sure he does. He's pretty strong. He should be pretty strong. I'm gonna click on him after this next section of attacks.
목을 내놓으시죠.
Bang, bang.
너희가 걸어야 할 수라의 길은 여전히 그 끝이 보이지.
81.
멀고
Pretty strong.
또 멀고.
Reclaim their bones. Heal my flesh. Da-da-da-da-da. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. I'm not too stressed, but the way the team's set up now, we should be able to run right through this pretty easily.
내 뒤.
순순히 돌아가기 싫다면 목을 내놓으시죠.
우와, 지금 완전
자세히 틀림은 없군.
이어 오랫동안 검의 길에 한 걸음 더 가까이. 죄를 새겨주겠소.
Nice and easy. Oh my god. Well, he died anyhow.
내 뒤.
Good damage.
혈이
Did that kill? Ah, barely not.
목을 내놓으시죠.
Oh, they're all negative quantities, actually. Oh, jeez.
똑같이 같은 시시한 말은 하지 마. 그대말
순순히
헤알리
보라를 받으시죠. 목을 내놓으시죠.
뿐이지. 구원 올.
Nice and easy. Nice and easy.
근처에 융수염이라는 군 거를 파는 곳 있나?
I won't be surprised if we actually don't really talk much until the end. We kind of covered a lot in just this one part.
컴버 회식 메뉴는
Ryoshu,
수박을 곁들인
Ryoshu,
융수염 과자로
please.
결정하지.
Excuse me? As you are slowly looking around the escort streets, a youth, after fidgeting and hesitating for a moment, walked up to us and asked for help. Oh, I kind of skipped one. Ah, it's fine. Well, dang, it's a lot. And that was where his problem began. As far as he knew, people who passed the exam with flying colors, like himself, had their travel expenses paid for the homeward trip and were granted a guide. But there must have been a misunderstanding or something, because when he left the exam ruins, no one was there to escort him. Confused by the unexpected turn of events, he wandered away from the exam ruins in search of his escort, lost his bearings, and found himself in the alleys. Well, obviously, him can handle it.
묘수로군.
Perfect. Another fight?
이 검이 필요하오.
하지만 그래봤자 거다.
Alright. No need to try too hard. Let's just get her done.
전부 잡아드리죠.
A little bit of win rating, if you will.
그렇지 않은가?
엄마는 무기라면 뭐든 잘 다뤘어. 그중
Yeah, I'm sure that it seems like they did. Killing me here. I was thinking this will only take 2 hours, but depending on how much more reading we got to do, this might actually take a hot minute.
박봉창. 자세에 틀림은 없군. 엄마가 검을 들고 나갈 때마다 내가 정말 두려웠던 기껏 엄마가 돌아오는 날에 너는 무슨 배풍 돌아올까?
육청
Decent damage.
제
Oh.
거짓말쟁이 그렇다면
Good stuff, Sinclair.
무분조토
Let's just get a quick heal in.
욕심
Use up all my stuff, but you know, it's fine.
저 도야지 같은 새끼들.
Like this, like that, like this. We got plenty of pride, so. Oh, there goes that guy.
슬슬 돌아가기 싫다면
아득한 여정. 멈추지 않는 시대에서 희망과 미래를 찾아 스스로 답을 구하시길.
무파법을 이제야 좀 이해했고.
Good stuff. Go on. Okay, now we're so good.
목을 내놓으시죠.
이제 싱수에선 벗어났나?
Hold on. Do that. You're fine. Okay.
무대배들.
Ooh, nice.
소리와 호흡을 멈추고
구원올. 하지만 슬슬 물리는군.
Great stuff. Let us continue. Yeah, we're probably gonna do a shit ton of reading in this last piece. I'm just sensing it. I catch a glimpse of a figure staring off into the darkness of the unlit prison. Ha! Bimu Haida Kim lets out a sigh, but before he even fully exhales, who goes there? A sharp cry cuts through the stagnant air. Someone here must have noticed us. What should we do? Feel that we are the prison's guards, keeping our eyes on the prisoner, unsheath our weapons, and stand by ready for battle. Yeah, we'll probably get something if we fight. Wait, are you not here to visit him as well? Might you be those who shared his purpose? Say we are. Of course we do. We're here to stand in solidarity with our guy. Meanwhile, Batman, she continued the... Oh, you know what? I don't feel like reading all that. It's a lot. On hit against crushed wooden mandible. Okay.
꽃을 피워볼까요?
Oh, here comes the reading. We're back, guys. No, it can't be. My life is... The experiences, the memories I had recorded are different. Alas. Oh, they're not gonna... Okay. Kim came to a stop with a grim look on his face. Again, I am returned to this day. Oh yeah, that music's getting depressing. I'm feeling it. We're here. The thing. His voice had dropped the same morose pitch we had heard before. The enemy rooster just corroded into the enemy. 1 HP. Oh, yeah. Well, Rayon's dead. You hate to see it. Truly, you do. Mentor, I have been here before. Ah, have you? I peek into my memories when I destroyed, did you? Huh. I must say, it's a bit embarrassing to have my deepest and darkest secrets revealed like that. Kim grinned sheepishly as though to clear the air, but it was becoming rather clear to me that he was what he was doing. That his flippant demeanor and seemingly devil-may-care attitude were but a mask to hide the true darkness in his heart. Then this must be, indeed, the right state counselor's estate. Someone whom I had once protected, thought was worth protecting. Kim pushed open the main gates and made his way into the front yard. Watch out, Ongdu. Take a take a step over or you might trip. Ah, oh. There were bodies splayed about the yard, and I couldn't dare start counting them. I felt faint watching the aftermath of the carnage. Some were just decapitated, some had their torsos split diagonally, and some were so mangled that I could hardly even tell which parts belonged to who. Are they not retainers of the royal court? What were they doing at the councilors? No, were they killed by assassins? Assassins did infiltrate the estate, yes. You're looking at what remains of them. I had but a moment to glimpse it. I clearly remembered what S Corp logo I saw in Ken's Fathoms looked like. The hats these corpses are or were wearing are adorned with the same logo. So why is Gamepro Hide Kim calling them assassins? In this corrupt land, the right state counselor's life was always as precarious as a candlelight in tempests. Such is the fate of all those who have the guts to speak the truth in S Corp, where positions of influence are hoarded by corrupt sycophants whose chokehold on power is ironclad. The more prominent among them, the left state counselor, the chief state counselor's blessing. Chief counselor's blessing sought to wield his own private army to silence forever the tongues of those who would advocate against the corrupt. Private army, but they are prohibited in our homeland. So they're kind of like how the great houses of H Corp each had their own armies. That is similar to what is happening, but not exactly. If S Corp circumstances were to be explained in plainer terms, it'd be akin to a situation in which a company, whose employees outwardly appear to be all working for the same side, is in fact fractured within, with certain departments pledging allegiance to a different individual than the chief executive. What assassins there had been in past at least wore masks to hide their allegiance. I had thought this no different, though the assassins significantly less invested in maintaining their disguises, not realizing that I had just placed my stone inside the tiger's maw. Huh? Looking around at the yard teeming with the assassins, I recall thinking it odd just how many of them they had sent. Though the less state councilor's power had grown to loom over that of the king, I should have realized how ridiculous such a brazen attempt on the life of one triumvirate counselors at the royal court would have been. Foolish. I can't. I failed you, counselor. There were simply too many of them, as though they had decided that tonight was the night they would finally slay the counselor, or die trying. I was soon overwhelmed, and some of them eventually managed to get around me and reach the counselor's bedchamber. The moment I heard them breach the door, all strength left me, and I fell to my knees. I, Kim Lib, am a poor excuse of a bodyguard. I have failed you. And I knew who the author of the foul scheme was, the left state counselor. Let this be my final act of loyalty ere I depart this life. Though I am too meager a person to carry on your will, counselor, What I can do is plant the seeds of terror in the hearts of the unjust, if only to shackle their blackest hearts from committing greater misdeeds. I shall go before the villain who contrived this betrayal, and see that the favor is repaid with steel. Only by such vengeance shall the counselor at last close his eyes in his grave. Or so I had thoughts. What? Greetings, honored bodyguard of the right counselor. I see that you've been hard at work. Accursed parasite. I ought to flay you alive and reveal the wretched soul underneath. Some gall you have to show your face here. Oh, here? You mean the home of the Honorable Right State Counselor who toils day and night in service of the royal court? I know the assassins were sent by a left state counselor. Get out of my way. I shall collect your head once my task here is over. Alas, alas, this unsightly display of anger shames us all. Are all those left by the sword as uncouth as you? The cruelty of you damning words is as oppressive as an impression upon decent men like myself. Let's see how long you can. Heed me, soldiers. Arrest that mad butcher. What? The accused shall heed his crimes. 1 moon ago, an anonymous letter threatening to take the life of a revered right state counselor arrived at the royal court. This audacious, contemptuous infirmary is an affront not only to the royal court, but to the heavens and men alike. The revered left state counselor, who has long been in disagreement with the right state counselor on matters of the state, found this offense to be so heinous that he has personally commanded his men to protect his political enemy on the day writ on the letter. Yeah, tragedy has struck. All those lives sent to protect the noble counselor are slain. The bravery and justice of their honorable hearts trampled upon ground by this villain. Now the villain promises death to yet another pillar of the royal court. Thus we are, perforce, to arrest the criminal and restore the rule of law. You spout senseless drivel. I saw your men make their way into the counselor's bedchamber with their blades drawn. The counselor? Might you be looking for the right state counselor, alive and well? Wait, what? My lord. The vile wretch leaned down next to my ear and whispered, "Perhaps you should have known where not to stick your nose. Did you really think you could overcome the entire private army in the left state counselor's service? You sent so many of this of he sent so many of his men just to lure me into a trap? Why? No, for real. Why? You personally? Now, don't take this as a compliment, as you're not even the apex blade of the homeland, nor are you the Ongyun Cloudblade, but you have been a rather egregious obstacle in the execution of my plans. Couldn't get through with the first thing in my plan with you constantly getting in my way. Let's keep you nicely locked up and out of trouble. This can't be. For what it's worth, young man, I am sorry. I've come to realize the error of my ways. The truth is, though S-Corp is indeed a proud pond of turbid water, it was those like us who had stirred the dirt from its bed and turned it cloudy. Fearing the worst, we arrived to protect the revered right state counselor. 1,000 curses upon the villain. In his quest for right state counselor's life, the butcherous man had already wired the ground with S-Corp's laborers, the very lifeblood that runs the veins of the most serene Wang. And that charcoal-hearted villain is none other than the counselor's sworn guard, Kim Lib. Han. Heed us, O villain. Han Ho Bei. And let the oh, that's him. Oh, let the O'Hara bonds take you. You've fallen far, my friend. You who were once considered a candidate to the honor of the Ongyun, and with the brand of Anobi sapping your strength. Even your mastery with the blade will only dull. Are you my executor, Gyog? I hadn't received the orders to behead you, if that is what you're asking. Nor would it befit someone of my station to sully my hands with executioner's duty. How will you live on now? I don't know. The counselor has abandoned me. There is no path forward. Salipipioi Agrandiustries is more corrupt than I had thought. Rotten to the court. This is where the game ends. Time to resign my stone. Indeed it is. Why are you freeing me? Once a game has been lost, you start anew, and other gambits in the next round. Why don't you stop playing this unfair game where the opponent always starts with stones placed on all 9 stars points on the board, and find a place where you could begin anew in equal standing? As soon as they realize it was you who freed me, they'll come after you. It's okay. Unlike someone who made a fool of himself and fled after passing the royal examinations, I have the royal court's backing as its military commissioner. My position in the court isn't so fickle that they could cast me down right away just because I let go of someone like you. You're a branded criminal. In the eyes of the royal court, you're as good as inconsequential. I'll report you. I'll report that even if you were to flee, you would still be nothing more than a plaything in the palm of their hands. I didn't think you were the kind to go against your honorable principles. Some things can't be done without bending a rule or two, and you are needed. S Corp's future is in need of those who are less bound by expectations like yourself. Besides, that's not the rules I stand by, it's my own principles. I did say I owe you a token of gratitude, didn't I? Consider this a settlement of that. Gratitude and vengeance, after all, share a common quality. They are both debts to be paid. Be repaid. Yong, come with me. There is no hope left in S Corp. You said it yourself, didn't you? You'll never win as long as we're playing their rigged game. Listen, might have 9 stone advantage on over you, but to me, it's as small as 3. I'll manage to keep my finger on the pulse. Besides, change doesn't always have to come from outside. The old wisdom says that to catch a tiger, you must enter its den. But wouldn't it help to have an all ally waiting in the tiger's den to back you up when the time comes? There, all done. Your bonds are severed. Go now. Go and build your strength beyond the walls of Escorp. Yet, beware of relying overmuch on foreign powers. I don't have it in me to take up such a grand purpose. I'm done with Escorp. You know how I am. I just go with the flow. Yes, yes. Do as you will, go with the flow. Whatever you want, be whatever you want to be. But I'm just hoping that the currents of the river will someday bring you back to Escorp, that's all. Though I had left the rigged game, my records afterwards weren't stellar. Laying of the stones on my board was always full of holes and mistakes. I joined the Blaine lineage, became their mentor, dragged them into the library, until eventually I cut down those who had placed their faith in me. Self-defeating move after a self-defeating move. When Gyeong had let me go, I thought I had escaped the tiger's maw. But as I let the game progress, the flow, I soon came to the realization that my life was an endless sequence of connect and dies. I was in a losing play from the start. Shadows dancing by the distant humanoid form began to grow like wildfire. And in the attire of Blade lineage, one by one let leap over the wall to approach us, like the projections of Kim's darkening fathoms. They're from his memories. Films and photographs can sometimes remain undoctored, but the impression of a person gets from viewing photograph, is malleable. Then they must be after. Yeah, Kim believes that if the Blade lineage were to come back to life, they would want to kill him. Ah. Is the stream going longer than anticipated? Yes. But, alas, we continue. How many do we have to kill this time? Well, it should be, actually, it shouldn't even be hard.
탑봉창.
And break. Beautiful.
지금 완전 사람들이랑 공원에 같았어.
이제 쉼 수에선 벗어났나?
Nice. Ah, no kill. Unfortunate. That's a good kill.
무타법을 이제야 좀 이해했고. 마음 둘.
Oh, light easy.
아비들도 매번 이런 식이었다. 시간 내킬 때만 잘해줘.
You die this turn. You die this turn. Well, you die this turn for sure. And then let's just make sure you die too.
랜다는 사활을 거둔다.
Should be nice and easy though.
내 뒤.
장난을 포기하지 마시게.
모.
Really? Damn.
랜다는
Alright.
사활을 거둔다.
역시
Yeah, there we go.
분질러야 조용해지는
지금처럼
저
엄마와
도야지
함께
같은 새끼들.
이곳저곳을 다니며 많은 기억을 쌓아줘.
Skip.
언젠가 그 중에서 가장 멋진 곳에 나를 데려갈 수 있게.
But yeah, no. Kim's backstory is actually tragic as hell. What do you mean? Bro was over here like, yeah, you know, I'm just trying to do the right thing, helping out a guy I think is honorable, and gets betrayed not by just the guy, by literally everybody, and gets fried. I mean, seemingly so. They really just put my boy on ice. I was gonna buy Resident Evil 2. They both on sale, but apparently the sale had ended by the time I came back home. I actually sick life to be leading. I've been there before though. I felt that pain, being like, yeah, I'm gonna get this thing on sale. As soon as you go check if it's on sale, it ended already. You gotta put them away because, you know, we're good people. Thank you.
미호스럽군.
Times like these, I'm just like, why would I ever pick the other option? Like, you want me to
들어볼까요?
pick the option where I, you know, harm this person who did nothing wrong, or do the right thing. I'm sure everybody's accounted for.
기꺼이.
Should be fun. Oh, yeah, you're gonna have to wait for our next another sale. I cannot suggest you spend, what is that, like $43 extra essentially on a game that you could have gotten on sale, and you probably will get on sale some other time. It's gonna have to wait, boss. Gonna have to wait.
친구들이랑 공원에 같았어.
난자오.
Let's see. Um, 2 on you. Fish. Lay down. Fish should guarantee your death. Then you. 2. And then boom. Done.
죄를 새겨주겠소.
기어를 깎는다.
아름다운 것, 그렇지 않은 것, 흐트러지게. 내 뒤에
엄마는 무기라면 뭐든 잘 다뤘어.
터지.
그중 제일
찾지
뛰어난
못할
Yeah, I'm gonna wait for another summer sale to start. Yeah, probably.
목을 내놓으시죠.
Yeah, that's not bad at all. 5 days, not bad.
이제 실수에선 벗어났나?
지금처럼
Ooh,
엄마와
maybe.
곳곳을
I don't know how
다니면서
I don't know how Steam
많은
works with
기억을
the
쌓아줘.
sales though, as far as like how often they like to do them.
그 중에서 가장 멋진 곳에 나를 데려갈 수 있게.
All right, I made it to the end.
야음을 틈타.
Like prey, backed against the cliff's edge, and left bereft of paths, my hand hesitates with no room to place the stone. Misjudgments burgeon when contemplations harrow the mind indeed. Now, all that remains is to neutralize the one enemy combatant in the yard. Tell me, who's waiting for us in there? You should know. This place and its enemies are projections of your memories. Not the hardest guess to make, is it? I expect to find Im Gyong in there. Young-Eep was a woman of loyalty and principles. Even as a military commissioner, she never stopped wanting to change the way the royal court was. But even she must have broken. In the end, I scoured the newspapers and TV for anything I could find of the current state of Escorp. But it was plain as day that nothing had changed there since my departure. Mentor, is that not but a baseless speculation? Your concerns grown uncontrollably. Never have you spoken to us about such uh, monstrous one in the past. Thus, what lies before you is but a figment of distortion reflecting upon your memories. Did this Im Gyung appear as the monster does, Mentor? No. Gyung Yup wasn't like that. Young Eep, I still believe that the Sully PPOA, outgrowing distries, deserves to die. But destruction is not the point. The point is that I want it to be a place where I can cut away the various corrupted and have it be a wing that cares for its common folk. If I didn't know better, I would have thought you were seeking to supplant the current S-Corp. You know that's not what I'm talking about. I'm just a wanderer floating down the river's flow to where the currents take him. When the river bent and I hit a wall, someone picked me up and made a blade out of me. Once abandoned, I returned to the flow and found myself a mentor to those who afforded me that undeserved faith. And the river continues to wind, carrying me back to Escorp, whence I had fled. Should I let the blade sing my inner thoughts? You think I'm satisfied with the way Escorp is? But your method, as it is now, goes against the principles. I expected better from someone of your wiles. If you're if you enjoy those principles so much, then why ask me to leave the game? Because someone has to stay behind and try to bring change within the limits of their principles. I only hope that one of those bends in the river of yours would float you back to knock on the gates of Escorp once it was primed for change. Has that changed? What do you think? You at least seem to think that I have, because you believe that I shall stand in your path. Stand in my path? And stem the flow of this river evermore. I will be getting Hotline Miami for 97 euros. Ooh, I haven't played Hotline Miami, but I mean to. I have it in my library, PlayStation games, and PS Plus. Very well. The law states that denial of the will of the royal courts is a crime deserving of death by beheading. I, Im Byung, second ordinate of the Scipion Salapiapioi and Grondistrices, official of the sword and military commissioner of the royal court, shall uphold the command and sever the floods of rebellion beyond before they propagate.
마음 둘 안. 아비들도 매번 이런 식이었다.
Okay,
지금
I now remember how this
잘해줬지.
works, so I think I'm prepared. So we are in. I think this is base power mode, so therefore we don't want you to gain clash power, because if you do, then you'll gain a lot of base power. So we want to stop you by like that. Then you like this. Like this. Like that. Here we go.
전부 잡아드리죠.
내 뒤.
Okay, I think we did this right. Okay. Doing pretty good so far. Okay, so it's both of them. So now we need to. So this needs to hit. This needs to be stopped. You can stop that. This. 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 And that. Actually, well, we might as well start the thing, right? Knock it down nice and fast. And play as Jack with pretty awesome since my friends hated the tape player uses the speed. So it's basically just a weaker Li Hang. Oh, or well, mini Li Hang more so, I guess. Or God, read her purple skills description when it appears. Okay, I'll keep an eye out. I mean, I feel like I kind of got the idea now, from last time, but I suppose this is a more filled out version. So just make sure I don't get absolutely trounced randomly.
아름다운 것. 그렇지 않은 것.
I just gotta wait for him to switch versions now. Because right now it's pretty good. Gotta keep it low. pretty sure I get it right now. So, no, you take this. You take that. This. We want you to lose stuff. You'll gain back stuff if you get an opposed attack, right? So, no opponent opposed attack for you. Okay. So far, so good. Beautiful, wonderful, great even. Ouch. See, that was the first time I've even seen that move. And that was like the whole main mechanic that I was supposed to get with a bow from time to time.
제 행위 그렇다면 무산이야.
Okay.
히 글과 신 어에 이어 짜증나는 시선이 늘었군.
You switch over? Yes. Okay, so these next few turns are going to be rough. Oh, but he has low coin power. Oh, she has low coin power, right? True. Let's switch it up. So we now want you to go up in one. So this should be an unopposed attack. This should be opposed. So you do that. You do this. Yeah, it should be fine though. Just based on the way this is looking, it should be fine. Do I? And just who wins? Oh no! Well, actually, that might have been bad. That actually might have been really stupid. Whoops. I may have accidentally. Yeah, I might have super blundered, actually. Maybe I'm dumb. I should have. You know what? That's my fault. I'm dumb. I was like, oh, this would be a great time to use the red. Unnecessary. Very unnecessary. It's cool, though. I can still win. Unironically, I can still win. I'm just dumb, though. Okay, so this should be unopposed. This should be opposed. This, no, you should oppose this. You should hit that. This. I am actually very dumb and do things unnecessarily. But we're actually still fine though. But did we need to let a bunch of people die? No, not at all. Oh, crap, he actually lost. Great job, Kim Salt. Yeah, we ain't making it easy, boss. Eat bullet. Well, I mean, we did kind of make it easy for a while, but the point is damage incoming. Oh. She might die. Oops. A sinking ID would have come in handy. Oh, why'd you roll not full heads? Why is she at
바꿀 수
9?
없는
Hold
상황을
on.
탓하는
She's
것만으로
supposed to be losing stuff.
오해하는 일은
Wait,
없을 거야.
guys. Wait, or is it supposed to be high?
시비는
Wait, no, it needs to be
더
low.
뻔해서
Wait, no, it needs to be high.
배틀로얄을
Yeah,
가리는
yeah,
게
yep, yep,
좋겠다.
yep, yep. We're good, we're good, we're good. It's supposed to be high. Got scared for a second there. Okay, now let's read this. Can clash with a skill regardless of speed, cannot be staggered on use. The final power +1 for every 4 bleed. Clash will always flip heads until it hits crits. Wait, what? Clash win. Before attack. On Clash win, this skill will always flip heads. Okay. Let's have you. Well, who's doing this? Somebody wants to let it loose. So no. No, we're not doing that. Thanks. I appreciate you for offering, I guess. Don't do that, please. Please. I'm not supposed to attack you thingy, so let's just stop you from doing that. Let's let you do this, and then let's just do some damage. Sounds about right. About to get me killed. Okay, I thought this was a red skull. It's not.
이 구속구가 나의 폭력을 저지하기엔 턱없이 모자라지.
자세에 틀림은 없군.
Ouch. 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 That's actually a lot of damage. Hold on. The damage almost at a stagger threshold. Oh. Me saying why. Oh, you're dead now. I don't know why you felt that, but whatever, I guess. Thanks for your participation. Guys!
어? 자신만만하게 달려가더니 근자감이었던 거야? 이 거리는 충분해. 너한테 아직 멀겠지만.
Guys, what the actual hell are we doing? Base power. So we actually need to drop this now. Opposite way, opposite way. So you lose 3 on opposed attack thingy. So you... Let's stop you. I think this should do it. Like that, like this, like this, and like, oh, like that.
목을 콱 물어버리자고.
Only can have something common, suppose, but being tiger hunting. Indeed, they do have that in common, it seems. To my utter detriment, at that. We broke? Is it still going lower? Oh yeah, a lot lower. Okay. Rush to the bottom. Somehow Don Quixote is still alive, by the way. Also, this was done to get some heals.
그렇게 가만히 있어요. 상처는 고기는 맛없으니까.
Great. Holy shit. Was that the full coin set?
나는 무기라면 뭐든 잘 다뤘어.
Oh wow.
그중 제일 뛰어난 게
Some
검.
good stuff right there. Okay, well, let's try to get that damage in. This might be enough. It's probably shy, but it's probably pretty far up there. 150. 100. Oh yeah, that's gonna be most of it. 200. It's over. Good fight, guys. Good fight. Was I being dumb for a second? Yes. But a win's a win. It's not as powerful as I recall. Yet, weighed down by the brand. I am not so far ahead of or behind. I don't know. I think you're doing pretty well. Barely. They appear evenly matched, yet he's wielding that sword like he's trying to get himself killed. That blade work is far beneath him. Seeking the end here, is he? Can you afford to look away in a duel? What are you doing? You'd rather lock your sword with mine than parry it away? Can't have a proper sword fight without a blade lock through, though, huh? Bruh, this guy's so extra. Yo, what the hell is going on with him with your Kim Salt? Oh, with the if you use the ego, the Blade Singer ego, then he kind of transforms a little bit into distortion mode and gets like some buffs. It's pretty strong, actually. Duel between mentor and of a syndicate and a military commissioner of S Corp is neck to neck, clash after clash. The two warriors eventually lock their blades into a contest of might before it comes to a close. It comes to a close and a final fatal bout. When the dust settles, the mentor lies in the sand dead. If that is what you want, I will grant it. Good. Let's finish this. Just as Bamboo Hide Kim and MDO readied for their final bouts, Ongdu leaps in between them. Ongdu! Are you really so ashamed that you would choose death over life, Mentor? Are you so scared to live with that you'd rather die? Yes, I am. I'm scared. I'm terrified of my own audacity to live my days as though I hadn't failed everything and everyone who had the misfortune of placing their faith in me. My mission, my honor, my fellows. As though my path is haunted by ghosts, as though I can stand shamelessly before watching the eyes of the heavens. What have I even done with the life that was given to me? Blind to the realities of my homeland, I served a master who chose politics over loyalty and justice. I cut down my fellows who chose to trust a fool like me. I walked my entire life as the flow carried me, and then I finally had the mind to look back, and all I saw were blood red traces else everywhere I had gone. Isn't it about time I admitted this game cannot be won? That, Mentor, the weakness in your strength is failed. The weakness in your strength has failed your mission. The weakness in your position has failed your honor, and the weakness in your heart had become the fiendish blade that cut down your fellows. And dude, I thought you were here to talk me into keeping on living, yet your words pay me so. What weakness of yours is it this time that you would cast away your own creed in life? What other weakness will you use as excuse today? Stop trying to bear responsibilities acts not of you. The blade lineage was never about responsibility, nor was it about you, Mentor. Does overbearing guilt help you overestimate your importance? What was that saying again? Fellow travelers in the same boat will aid one another. Not a single soul demanded that of you. Talk about kicking a man when he's down. Oh, wait, hold on. Maybe make sure I read that properly. I feel like I'm missing a part. Stop trying to bear responsibilities X not of you. Blame News was never okay. What was the saying again? Fellow travelers in same boat will aid one another. Not a single soul demanded that of you. And I have had enough of that flippant larking of yours. We all have. Do you truly believe that not a single one of us has picked up on the fact that all your levity was a means of relieving yourself of the burden you had cast upon your own shoulders? None of us even demanded some impossible feat from you. What was it that you always said to describe yourself? That you are a butchering blade that wields not itself, a tool wielded by willing hands? Why, Mentor? I know not what kind of shame or responsibilities a mere tool has. Do you? Because I fail to see any. If the shame does not subside still, Then shroud your face with that bamboo hat of yours and live on. Live on so that you may repay your debts. Damn. Agnew really was like, I'm tired of that bullshit, big man. Get it together, or put on the fucking hat. But you ain't going down now. Out of blades, out of arrows. Even the heart that sought death lies defeated at your feet. There is no stone left for my next gambit. There is nothing more. Indeed, perhaps there was some merit in your words, that I must retreat from the silly game of stones and become a fiend of blades. Mentor, that is not what I said. Interesting. Whence did you hear that poem? Yes, when inverted, a bamboo hat is like an unladen ship. Oh, that's not good. Im Gyeong ilk were knocked away from the Bamboo Kim as though bounced off by invisible force. Kim raises his gaze to meet the empty air as though someone were there, a hollow laughter escaping his lips. You know who he's talking to. It's the voice. But your last move was not a good one. Indeed, I did wish to become a blade. And what did you do? Forge me into an indiscriminate one that cleaves blindly into friend and foe both. It seems that in your excitement, you have cornered yourself with that last move. Well, as it seems that I have had an opportunity to retrace our past moves, allow me to try something different this time. Ah, but not so vexed by this round, as you say, we never know what the next game shall bring. I appreciate and will treasure the other bits of your advice. But let us play by my rules for tonight's game. Something's different this time, innit? He ain't distorted, and I think that's an efflorescent, perhaps. Nothing is for certain, indeed. Yet I trust the words of my last remaining follower have also reached your ears, I am but a tool wielded by willing hands. Nothing in my life has ever been certain. I know not whether this move is what cements my defeat, but I desire it to be vicious stone nonetheless. Thank you. I will take what encouragement I can. A strange invisible pressure dissipates, and the armored woman in Gilm readjusts her grip on the sword. Kim turned around to look at her, and I saw the weighty shadows seem to have been lifted from his face, replaced by a mix of relief and determination. A bit embarrassing to change my stance now, but now I will fight to live. I suppose you will be okay with that. Of course. To hide from heaven's gaze, this hat I wore. I am empty, in empty boats to bore my friends along. In bamboo veiled, we drift from shore to shore. With wine, I don my hat to watch blooms throng. In mirth, I doff that shroud to moon adore. So, with this bamboo hat to veil my brow, though winds and rain my rage, I shall not throw. He to me, bamboo-hatted one, speak your name, for I find you outfit dubious of character. I am he who has mentored the lineage of blades to its premature end. I am he who has sought to bring salvation to the downtrodden to no avail. What to call a man who has failed to disburden himself of the world? How to name a man who has failed to bear the weight of the world? There is none. So call me Bamboo-Hatted Kim. Bamboo-Hatted Kim, the treasonous wretch. Beautiful. And we gotta see a cool sword thing. Oh my god, there's so much reading. I have other things to do in life, guys. Yo, this frame is literally just a Argali and Zhao clashing scheme from Ruin. It is. It was. Wait, I swear they clashed at some point. They did not, in fact, clash. Oh, wait, no, Zhao and Argalia? No, that never happened. I think it's talking about Argalia and Roland. Photographs rapidly pulled away from reality, perhaps because Kim had successfully managed to face his own past, and the photographs and memories that were overlaid upon the fathoms are pulled away. What remains is a man in dirty, ragged clothing. The fathoms of S-Corp slowly lose grip on this world, and soon reveals the fathoms of the distortion that was hidden beneath it. The residents of the city back streets and their blissful highs from taking the canned experiences, and a man who's watching them for disapproval. Why? Why? Why is everyone running away from all this? A baker always surrounded by the smell of freshly baked bread. Florist makes lovely bouquets for graduating youngsters. Photographer who captures beautiful sights to remember. They're our lives, our experiences. You wouldn't be a billionaire with an extravagant mansion in a nest, a legendary fixer who can make the syndicates cower in fear just by going on a stroll. What you get from those cans is not real. Is everything in your lives, all of this, just empty means to an end so that you can get high on fake purchase experience nailed into a can? That's all your life is. Then my life, the photographs I've taken are all no, it can't be. My life, those experiences and memories I photographed are different. We're all blindly consuming fake experiences and after fake experience without a care about the real thing. That's why you're all floundering, grasping at illusions. So let me show you the things I've got. The memories, the experiences, the reality of your lives. Ah. It was only in passing, by a glimpse of unmistakable grimace, a scowl on Mr. Masseau's face. I reflected upon the events today, could at least begin to guess as to why that might be. You don't believe there's any experience in either the can. You don't believe there's any experience in either the can experience or that guy's photographs, do you, Marceau? Because experience and memories aren't the same thing. What really distinguishes them, I wasn't sure. Correct, manager. But I was, but I, what I knew was that the distinction was, for whatever reason, important to Marceau. Huh? A figure materialized into a humanoid form, swirling out of projector. He must be the distortions, and the next to him is another figure, stumbling out in a giant suit of armor. Blimey, that thing's still alive? No, for real, it is but an overlay of fathoms created within a distorted space. The concept of life and death has little meaning for such a thing. Yet faint does she grow. It must be distortion's power is waning. Accuse one, but these are your crimes. The crime of fomenting chaos in a foreign wing while impersonating chicans of Celipipioi Agrandistries. Crime of exploiting suffering of Sepoy and Agrandistries downtrodden as a mere veil for one's own fathoms. And, though it be but a part of reenactment, impersonating a military commissioner of kingdom without the royal decree. Pursuant to the law of the homeland, the accused is to be sentenced to death by beheading. And before we even had the chance to stop in or anything, the faint mirage, like warrior, brought down her sword on the docugrapher's neck. Holy cow! And so he's just dead. Okay, I guess. Can NTO the found slay one outside it? Such an instance has heretofore never been observed, but as it is happening right now, right before our eyes, I can only say, yeah. Young is a woman of principle. She would have done the same to her bitter end had she truly been here. As the helpless body of the inflection point crumples to the floor, Young shape slowly faces out of reality. We found ourselves back in the projection room. And there, no way, don't tell me the headless corpses. We found a large group of injured and corpse staff thrown pell-mell around the room, and Ezra, who was looking down at the headless body of the docugrapher. This is probably another node. Do I want to read it? It's kind of late, and a guy actually does have other things to do.
판세는 완벽히 우리에게 있어.
Well, pretty good though. We did a
정착지를
good
찾을
job.
때까지
Besides me getting
이
like half the
기세를
team
잃지
killed.
않기를.
How long have we been on? It's been like 3 hours, right? We're getting there. All right. Let's bring her home. Let's bring her home. The last node. We're gonna be quick with this though. Not trying to read for another 5 hours. It's like, wait, no, they did class. Unless the photo I'm looking at right now is really weird, confusing. I think you might be looking at a confusing picture. Unless it's someone intercepting the attack, I really can't tell. Zhao? Fire Lady Zhao. And Argalia? Oh, no, you know what? You're right. They did clash. 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 Yes, they did. You're right. You're right. You're right. I'll think of a different instance later down the line to which Argalia and Roland clash, but earlier in the story, Zhao and Argalia do clash. You're right. Yep, right on. Gotcha, team leader. And that's the initial report done. Good work, guys. Plugging her radio back in, Ezra commended us in a relieved voice. The distortion has perhaps perished in this mission. Will that not cause trouble? Yeah, that kind of sucks, but it's not like you guys could help it. Who would have thought that the distortion would kill its own inflection point? If we knew that in advance, we probably would have prepared something to stop it, but, well, that's for the LCD and team leader to investigate. All in all, the mission was still a success, since we managed to eradicate the distortions from NCorp, not to mention satisfying our clients. Also, Ezra looked toward Ongdu and Kim with a light-hearted shrug, clearly less concerned than she had been earlier. Now I finally know why you've been disappearing on your own without letting us know. Glad you don't seem to have any more reason to, though, so it's all good. Hey, that's the real win of this mission in my book. The point is, we did it. We did the thing. It's done. Gosh, I swear I am never doing one of these without the team leader ever again. Seriously, I got this close to losing it more than a few times. It seems that the responsibility of looking after LCD juniors had kept her stressed and high-strung throughout the mission. I hadn't noticed it, but her brows had finally relaxed, bringing back this chipper Ezra I was more familiar with. Thus, I shall not abide by more of your indolence. You will now join us on missions and task as you are expected to. Is that understood, mentor? Ongdu, would you mind releasing the hems of my sleeves? Oh, what I wouldn't give to lie down and pass out right now. The raw emotion of Kim's voice had likewise faded, and with Ongdu's voice no longer as barbed as it had been in the Fathoms, it seems to me that the two were back to more relaxed selves I knew. Can't exactly say more relaxed for Kim though, because that's how he's always been, at least from what I've seen. In any case, fine, you are released. Phew. You've given me a good, hard shake. I don't feel so good. Say, Ongdu, I'm afraid they may have gone overboard with upgrading your arm. With your hem released, allow me to reiterate that. Stop. Barrett finds peace as well as I watch them bicker. Everyone doing okay? Yes, Executive Manager. Of course, I've only suffered minor injuries that do not require you to go through trouble rewinding the clock. Hang on, mate. I got a dislocated shoulder. I can pop that right back into place for you. Allow me, I've taken care of similar injuries in the field. Yeah, I guess what happens the last time I let you do that. You rotated my bloody arm the wrong way and turned the bones in my shoulder into little chips. Jeez. She could do that? It's kind of horrifying. Don't sweat it, I can rewind that. By now I've already grown used to the pain of rewinding the sinner's injuries. A dislocated shoulder shouldn't be a big deal. I've ought to ask thee a clarification, if thou wilt. Yeah? Dost thou recall how, as we battled the NCorp's pin frame team, the foes had taken photographs of us? And they are those who were sent to identify and capture the one who hath violated the taboo, forsooth. As we stood in their path, 'tis mystery why we had to come to blows, yet I find this to be most perplexing. Wherefore did they take so many photographs of us? Maybe they were taking photographs to report their locations? Recording footage is taboo, meaning they can't install security cameras here. The only option for keeping consistent record is tracking down a case or a person is by photographs. Thine words hold water, yet puzzling, most puzzling, forsooth. For I recall with clarity that from a certain point they had begun photographing us with renewed obsession. Oh, hey, that sounds like a question for Rousseau. Given how often I had to rely on information Rousseau have provided me in this mission, I think I've gotten enough practice to how to phrase my questions the right way to pull answers I need from him. I couldn't get him to tell us his own judgments on matters, but he seems to have a near photographic memory of what he sees. Do you remember how many pictures of us the N Corp staff took? I do. 56 times. That's a lot of pictures. You actually remember the exact number of times they shot us? I do. It's always so neat seeing his memory in action. So did you get the chance to see which one of us got the most photographs taken? I did. Ooh, who was it? Who is it? Is it me? I make for a fine model if I do say so myself. No, it wasn't you. It was me. Huh? But why? I mean, what was the most statistically likely reason that it was you? Hold on, wait. Wait. This interval is over, guys. What's happening? It was the moment that I had heard the sound of pebbles crunching under boots approaching us, louder and louder. What the heck? Encore. Oh, dang it. Are you here because we beat up some of our guys? Listen, here. We had to because of the distortion, you see. It's, as he says, the skirmish was an unfortunate consequence of combating distortion phenomenon. Limbus Company, etc., etc. I'm not reading all that. Yes, we fully understand the circumstances surrounding the battle. We intend to submit an expeditious request for damage compensation as you have recommended. But we are here on different business, so if you could be so kind as to let us speak. Different business? They are here to arrest me, man. What? Hold on, Marcel. Let's hear them at. Wait, what? That's what I was saying. What do you mean, Dirk? Rousseau did not resist. He walked past us and joined the group of N Corp employees. Please confirm that you are Marcel, formerly one who nails, and a former member of the maintenance and management team of the Grand Magazine Sisyphean headquarters. Confirmed. By decree of the Giants, you have been expelled from N Corp with imprisonment as the penalty for non-compliance. Pursuant to Article 12 eviction regulations, you have also been informed that remaining in N Corp district for more than 6 hours may subject you immediate arrest. Please confirm that your memory pertaining to the above incident has not been expunged and you are of sound mind to recall its entirety. Confirmed. Very well then. Very well. Then in keeping with the regulations, I hereby notify you that you are now subject to arrest and transport. Place your hands behind your back. Please offer no resistance. I am required to inform you that resistance may incur further penalties. Wait, stop. What the hell's going on? Wait, for all that. Did you know this would happen, Russell? Russell, who stood calmly with his arms behind his back and handcuffed him, nodded placidly in my direction. I did, manager. Then why the heck didn't you warn? It was less of a question and more a reflex, but I didn't need to hear his reply to know why. Right. I never asked, did I? You did not. I'd say you should have warned us way earlier, but you'd reply, I will follow those instructions going forward, right? Yes, I would. Subject now in custody. From this moment onward, you are considered a suspect and will be transported to N Corp headquarters for your trial. As for the rest of you, would you be the organization that suspect is a part of? Organize your ass. When in the bloody hell do you think you're Heathcliff? You are about to antagonize N Corp a wing. Please shut that up. Stop talking. In the absence of a reasonably justifiable cause, such a contract engaging as justifiable cause, such as a contract, engaging in battle with the city's corporate entities is strongly discouraged. Yeah, we're just supposed to twiddle our thumbs while they drag him away. This must be another piece of information they neglected to tell me. Yeah, another development that was set in stone. Despite her claim and her calm and collected explanation, I could tell that this was not a pleasant situation for Faust either, as she was sending an uncomfortable glance at Encorp's employees. So where are you taking him? A retrial will be scheduled for the execution of the exile's sentence. Huh? They replied disappointedly, dispassionately as they took Marceau into custody. We looked back at them, not knowing what to do or say. The late afternoon sun pricked at us like 1,000 hot needles. Marceau, down in cuffs, gazed at us with an expression that would not have seemed out of place on any ordinary day. One ending. Was that the last one? Tell me it was the last one. I want to see another node for two reasons. Oh yeah, it was the last one. Now that's an ending. They said they would have some fun with these last couple of Kantos, and you know what? I'm here for it. Let's switch it up. Anyway, I've been here for 3 hours, and I have other things to do. Wait, hold on. Unless someone okay, I knew it. Well, Argonian Roland clashing is like one of the coolest moments. It is. At least Roland like stopping Destroyer ultimate attack is coolest in my opinion. It's fair. It's fair. I can't deny it's pretty up there. Oh, maybe I should make a video about that too. Gather all the most interesting moments throughout P Moon history and talk about, I guess, my favorite one. A couple of them are probably up there. But regardless, I'm going to go run away because it's like late over here and I have other things to do. But thank you for watching. Very much appreciated, and special shout outs essentially to Stay Gold's #1 fan. I appreciate you for dropping in and chatting with me. Definitely made the stream come along much smoother. But for now, I must be off. Until the next time,